everybody. My name is Joe Harford.
And I'm Angie Singer Keating.
One of the things that came up yesterday in trying to figure out National Privacy Day is, what is it? Because I think that, maybe the term is pretty evident and it's pretty straightforward.
Sure.
But I think that there are people out there that really don't understand. So if I'm somebody that you're going to work with as a client,
Sure.
you're trying to educate me because I'm relatively dopey, then what is National Privacy Day?
Well, National Privacy Day actually started out in Europe as European, I had to check my notes here, European Data Protection Day. And so in 2007, it was then became something that we celebrate here in the United States. And I say celebrate loosely because we celebrate it kind of like today is also National Have Fun at Work Day and National Kazoo Day.
Nice.
But the issue around National Privacy Day is that I hope people understand or think about the fact that privacy does not equal security,
Okay.
and security does not equal privacy. We've had some very high-profile breaches in the national media where people thought their information was private and they assumed it was secure. However, their privacy was violated through their credit card numbers being exposed. And that was the result of security issues.
So you make a really good point about this whole privacy and security, or security and privacy. So we deal with clients in highly regulated industries, and so privacy and security are incredibly important to them.
Sure.
So it doesn't matter if we're talking about healthcare records, if we're talking about financial records. The security of that digital asset is a big deal for them.
Right.
Okay, so
Correct.
We've been doing it for 15 years and people always talk about it. So what is the difference when somebody says, I believe my information is private, and then they also assume it's secure and vice versa? What does that mean? What am I supposed to tell a client?
Sure. Well, you know me, I love a good analogy. And so the analogy really between privacy and security is really that of your home. So your home can be secure because you have a burglar alarm. Maybe you have a fence around the outside. You have a key that people have to unlock. That's security of your home. And you have that security because you want to safeguard the things that are very important to you, that are very close to you. And you want to safeguard your privacy in your own home to be able to do what you want to do, walk around in your underwear. But that does not necessarily mean that you have privacy if you allow people into your home, or people break into your home, or in the case of police, where they can come into your home if they would have a search warrant. All of those things can affect the privacy inside your home. However, you have allowed those people to come in. And maybe it wasn't through poor security. Maybe it was simply because of your teenage kid allowing someone inappropriate into your home.
Okay.
So that analogy, when we apply that to data security and data privacy, is we have firewalls and we have all of these gadgets and widgets and technology and processes to keep the bad guys out. However, in order for us to use data effectively, we have to occasionally let people in.
Okay.
We have to allow systems to talk to each other. That would be the equivalent of maybe inviting your neighbor in.
All right.
However, the issue for us around data privacy is that data privacy is something that we have a fundamental right to. It speaks to the fundamental right that we all have, whether it's as a human being or through the Constitution. We have a right to privacy. So that is the proper use of information. And when people improperly use our data, that's a privacy violation.
Okay.
And so even in the most secure organizations, there can be misuse of data.
Okay.
For instance, it's illegal for healthcare organizations to sell your healthcare information,
Right.
For the purpose of marketing and things like that. So we put protections on privacy. We have a very secure environment, but we can have very poor privacy practices that negate the security and still cause privacy breaches. So we don't call them necessarily security breaches. We call them data breaches because it's the data that we're concerned about and the privacy of the data.
Okay. So if we had, or if you had, a minute to share one major tip, whether it was somebody in a highly regulated industry who's a client of Reclamere's today,
Sure.
or a tip that you wanted to share with your mom,
Correct.
what would that one tip be that would really be practical and useful to them?
Well, I'd actually like to give two.
Of course you would.
Of course I would. Because they go hand in hand. The first thing is the concept of least privilege. You would not go and hand out the key to your home to everyone on the planet, to all of your neighbors. However, I've given the key to my home to my best friend. So when I lock myself out, she can come help me.
Okay.
You want to do the same thing with data. You only want to give privilege to those people who have the proper role and proper purpose for using the information. That's probably the top tip. Now, in your home life and on your home computer,
Right.
that means that you set up multiple accounts on the computer so that your child does not have full administrator rights to be able to download anything under the sun that they want. Your husband does not have the ability to visit a website for sports and accidentally click on something that executes on his machine.
Right. Okay.
There should be an administrator account that literally no one uses. Everyone then has their own logon on your personal computer.
Okay.
Now this sounds like a lot of work, but I always say between Google and YouTube, I can rule the world. All you have to do is search on YouTube for how to secure your Windows or Apple Macintosh machine, how to set up secure user accounts. Any of those types of searches are going to let you walk right through how to set these accounts up. That's the first thing. The second thing really is around making sure that in our organizations that we used role-based accounts.
Okay.
Okay. So not everyone in our organization should have administrator access to their local machines. And even our system administrators should have different levels of access that they log into servers for different types of purposes. You might remember one of the cases we worked on where there was a massive data breach because one of the system administrators used his administrator account to also surf the web during downtime and check his email.
Right, I do.
And so if he were logging into a personal account on that server, which first of all, the business processes and policy should never ever have allowed that to happen. But secondly, he should have been logging into a personal account on an end user machine if that's what he wanted to do. So those are kind of the two tips that I look at, really making sure that the people in your organization or even in your home have the least amount of access, can do the least amount of things on the computer that they absolutely positively need to do. And with children, that is absolutely crucial because they can wander into some areas that are really, really horrible.
Sure. So we have National Have Fun at Work Day.
Yes,
So I
which
know that
we
that
are.
I know that's
We do
going to
that
happen at
every day.
Reclamere. And we have National Kazoo Day.
We didn't.
Although
get
we are without
kazoos.
a kazoo.
We
So if you
just
want to send a
found that
kazoo to
out.
Reclamere, our address is on our website. And if you want to send one in, that would be great. We'd
Just
be happy to
send
play
them
it for you.
Send them attention, Joe Harford.
That's fine.
please.
That's fine. I'll play it for you on the next video. But I think, all kidding aside, National Privacy Day in the beginning of the year and trying to get people to really begin the new year not only with, oh my God, can I lose weight or whatever the case may be, but really having a better understanding of data security, a better understanding of privacy, and taking it seriously. It's not just something that we talk about or we create videos for, but it's really something that we've got to take seriously.